I call Melissa Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to begin my third reading speech by just clarifying a couple of things so that people at home and people in the House are not confused after that member's speech. It is, in fact, all veterans with qualifying service who actually get the veterans' pension, not selective. And if Labor had it their way, they will give more money in one hand, but they will take it away, because for them, they will give the pension when the veterans turn 67. So are they really giving very much? And let me just be clear, Mr. Goff, the lump sum does not get paid when veterans are alive. Let me be aware, make it very, very clear that the lump sum is not paid while the veterans are alive. It is actually paid after they're dead. Sir, I'd like to first of all pay tribute to all men and women who have actually served our country. In particular, those Korean War veterans who 2 days ago celebrated the 61st commemoration of the ceasefire on the Korean Peninsula. I was at the Auckland commemoration held on Friday, and as it is always an honour to be among the veterans who served to keep Korea free, and I'm a beneficiary of their bravery and their noble sacrifice. The Korean veterans are getting on in their years, and since May this year, 18 have passed away. That makes a total of 43 who passed away since November last year. I take this opportunity to send their families my sincere condolences and my love, because they have my gratitude and my love for their service in Korea. So 4,700 New Zealanders actually served in the Korean War. 33 actually died during the conflict, but the war actually ended after 3 years. But the New Zealanders actually served till 1957. There were 3 million civilian dead, 800,000 military dead. That's a huge casualty that we have seen in recent years. And as I've always said throughout the progress of this bill, right throughout, that we need to honour our veterans. So it's been a long process to rewrite a 60-year act and implementing 132 of the 170 recommendations of the Law Commission actually made, which was the result of the War Pensions Act 1954 being referred to the Law Commission in 2007, as other speakers have actually mentioned earlier. The All War Pensions Act dealt with the physical risk associated with deployment, but did not really cover the cost of psychological and environmental risk our troops actually faced as a result of their deployment. The national-led government is committed to honouring the service of our veterans, our service that these veterans have given to this country. It's a huge debt that we actually owe our veterans who have served in defence of our nation for freedom and democracy all around the world. And the sacrifices they have made need appropriate recognition in legislation. As the Minister said earlier, we have committed $60 million for a package to support the new legislation. The Veterans Support Bill will mean that this government will be able to better meet the needs of the war veterans who need help to remain in their own homes, sir, and also enable us to meet the needs of veterans of modern-day deployment who need rehabilitation and help to return to work. The changes in the bill will increase the number of New Zealanders eligible for the veterans' pension from 8,600 to 25,000. That's an increase of 16,400 New Zealanders who will actually qualify for the veterans' pension. National has always supported our veterans, without a doubt. Freedom and the legacy of service to our country came at a significant cost. Many lives have been lost in defence of this freedom, and many more are actually injured. No veteran will have their current entitlement reduced, and many veterans and their families will benefit from increased entitlement, care and support. So I was looking for something to sort of referred to when I was preparing for the third reading, and I found a poem which may not be, it wasn't written by a New Zealand soldier, but I'll start from sort of halfway through in the fourth stanza, and if I could actually quote Mr. Frank G. Groves, who actually wrote this in 1972. Many countries remember their fallen with respect of honour due, but in these states such little relates, and our history words were few. For in the hallway of the high school, mahogany plaques stand out, of the names engraved and the sacrifice made, to remind us what war is about. There are names there of the first war, the very first bugle call, and for the taps that blew in World War II, and of the boys from Nam on the wall. But the Korean War, forgotten 54,000 lost their place, and the 8,000 more are MIAs. Of them, there is such little trace. So hear us, five-star general, we heed to the words you say, the old soldiers never die, but why must they fade away? Sir, this bill makes sure that those soldiers do not fade away. I commend this bill.
A point of order, Jami-Lee Ross.
Speaker, I've waited till as near to the end of the House as possible without interrupting anyone. Some of us on this side are a little offended by the lowering of dress standards by a member in the House, and I wonder if, Mr. Speaker, you could refer to Speaker's ruling 16.2, the requirement for members to dress in business attire, and also 16.4 around the wearing of hats.
Order, members. A point of order has been raised. Well, if we do look at Speaker's ruling 16.4, it says there is no rule prohibiting a member wearing a hat. And it goes on to say, I'll just go to the last part, but in the normal wearing of attire, a member is perfectly entitled to wear a hat. And that is Chairperson Braybrook in 1999. So that is order, please. I'm upholding the ruling that appears in Speaker's rulings. Now I'm calling David Shearer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, that was a ridiculous interruption to a very important... Order.
I've actually ruled on the matter, so you don't refer to it. David Shearer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, today...